really excited to report that we had our first volunteer days this week. We felt so official. The day started out with a quick safety orientation and some paperwork, and then it was on to the real work. And I have to apologize, I was so busy running around getting everybody started on task that I missed taking a lot of pictures of volunteers actually working. They worked and they worked hard, trust me. The problem was compounded by my phone deciding to pocket dial 911 3 times in a row, so I had to leave it under a tree and not carry it around with me. One of our primary tasks was to clean up along the sidewalk, where even though the city had done a pretty good job of cleaning up, there was still a lot of concrete debris and rocks and unevenness. We're going to sod this area, so we needed to clean it up real well and smooth everything out. The volunteers are already sitting down on the job.
That was my influence. That was me. My bad.
She had a good idea because I could tell that my glutes were going to be in real trouble by the end of the day.
We had a question. Do we only want rocks in the buckets and we'll put like leaves and trash
Yes,
in bags?
yes.
Okay.
It doesn't like you to put rocks and concrete in with the regular trash. That breaks their trash trucks. So we did a lot of raking and hand picking to clean this area up. Joe, Susan, and Sandy were up to the task. We still had some of our bulbs left that were removed from the front, so we planted another bed at the front street corner just like we did in the back before. Joe was quite helpful, but honestly, she was a trooper for 2 days, even though her back is still somewhat out. She helped keep everybody on track and entertained, and ended up doing quite a bit of cleaning in the house with our volunteers, Chris and Diane. Kelly won the prize for coming the farthest distance. Even though she's never seen the house in person, she came from the Bryan area and spent 2 full days working. She was very focused and stayed on task, and commented that it was a great break for her from her day job just to be able to sit outside on such a beautiful day and do some work with her hands. She and Sherry tackled a particularly ugly corner. Here we are cleaning out the messiest corner. Oh, somebody wrote on our post. And they've uncovered something fun.
We have some really beautiful old style chain link. Take a look at all of this here. It's just fantastic.
Bent, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape.
I'm going to try to bend it straight.
Y'all got quite the mess in this corner.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff here.
Be careful, there's bougainvillea in there with
yes.
a real sharp, you know. You learned that from experience already?
Yeah, it was already dead, so we just pulled it out.
Most of it's in the back of the truck right now.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm saving.
We had a new crowd show up on Saturday and tackled lots of yard work and trimming as spring is here and things are growing, and they always seem to grow best where they're not supposed to be. To keep the front side of the house looking good, we relocated our yard waste pile to the street behind the property, so Stephanie volunteered for wheelbarrow duty. Ricardo and his crew were busy with some demolition and cleanup work of their own. Get here 5 seconds too late. So that was heavy. Well, these look good. We can save those. They're doing the final demolition on the ground floor area that will become one of the apartments. I get a lot of horrified comments about chopping up or ruining the integrity of the house by putting in an apartment. But remember, this space was originally built as an apartment for League-Kempner's chauffeur when the house was added onto in 1920. The new apartment will be just a tiny bit larger, but still remains true to the original purpose and construction and layout of this space at the time the house was built. We're even using the original wood we salvaged from the walls and the floors to put this area back. Another load bites the dust. We've been cleaning all day. Starting to look nice. Another reason I didn't get many pictures was that I set my phone up to capture some time lapse of Heather doing some faux painting. In the last video, you saw us put up the plywood to make hinged doors or plywood doors across the front of the house so we could bring tours in this way without having to unscrew and take the plywood on and off. Except now I've gone and done this. I'll cover this disaster in a later video. Anyway, the front doors have been covered with plywood since I bought the house, and it looks pretty bad from the street.
And this is also my tray. I'm not even using a tray.
I don't use the tray either. I love them. I've painted whole walls with those where I've had to touch something up.
Yep.
Because a roller can absorb, a third of a can of paint just loading the roller.
Absolutely.
And my little bits I have left, I can use that and get a whole wall touched up.
This is like this. I couldn't live without these things as a painter. There's just no way, because I do so much decorative stuff with these, and then obviously they're great for this kind of thing. But yeah, if you're going to be using oil like this is like kind of a junkier one, and then I just rip it off of here and chunk it. I call them my sacrificials. I wouldn't use one of my good new ones on something like this.
Now that we're trying to improve our curb appeal, Heather volunteered to faux paint doors onto the plywood. She's a decorative painter by profession, and she has lots of samples of bare exterior paint in various brown and cream tones, so she brought along all her extras for the job. Break time gave everyone a chance to visit and get to know each other a little bit better. In the blink of an eye, it was time for lunch and a chance to get organized before our afternoon volunteers showed up. Here we are with the Saturday morning crew. Woo! The afternoon crew included the famous Mateo that I keep talking to you about. He's the electrician who has volunteered to wire the house for us, and his wife Blake. They provided some young muscle to do our heavier task along with Aaron and Lily. They're all at an age where their knees still bend. Heather, meanwhile, went back to her painting.
Okay.
So, if you want anything else done to this, basically the shadow is just it's kind of strange colors, but it was like the dark, the cream, and then the light colors like cream with a little bit of the dark, and then it's just shadowed this way. But if you want to do anything that's like the windows area, do you want to paint anything in there?
Let's go out at the street and take a look at it from afar.
Okay.
And see. Doors look fabulous. At the end of 2 days, we'd accomplished so much more than I could have done alone. More importantly, the house and I have a new set of friends who share my vision for the community to come together to save this incredible house and piece of Galveston history. Everyone left wanting to know when we would get back together to work again, and more work days will be scheduled soon because there's still a lot to do. A big thank you to everyone who came out to help and those who are continuing to sign up on our volunteer form located on our website, League-Kempnerhouse.org. We look forward to you joining us in the future. And as always, a big thank you to everyone watching here on YouTube. Your views also help save this house, and we appreciate your supportive comments and the donations you've been sending. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time here at the League-Kempner House in Galveston, Texas.